Well, these are the Muslims that are grabbing the headlines, of course. So how does that make folks like my next guest feel? Kareem Salama is a Muslim country music star here in the United States. His latest CD, Generous Peace, is in stores right now. Kareem, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me on.
You heard probably what Wayne said at the end there, profile away. Now you fit a profile. Yeah. Does that bother you?
I mean, I see both sides of this. I see both sides of the argument. I mean, on one side, most of the terrorists that we've had have been Muslim, and they've been from the Middle East. I guess these last guys for the Fort Dix thing were from Yugoslavia. So you've got you've got a distinct profile in that they're Muslim. The problem is that's a slippery slope. You can start profiling people if there's a statistical correlation between a certain race or a certain religion with how many people, with the number of cars that are stolen in a particular area. Then you start profiling that. It's a slippery slope, but I certainly understand why people are afraid and why people would talk about doing something like that.
All right, now you're American-born. Your parents are from?
My parents are from Egypt.
Both from Egypt, right? Kept their Muslim ways, right?
Yes, sir.
And you do as well, right?
I do, sir. Yes, sir.
But yet you're a country singer.
Yeah.
And you have that anomaly in an area where right after 9/11, a lot of the country songs at the time, including Toby Keith, were put a boot in their ass and kick them out. How do you feel about that?
I understand the feeling. I mean, it was a hard time for everybody. Those were wretched human beings, and people were justifiably upset. And revenge is a natural feeling. People want vengeance. I think the only problem with songs like that is you sort of get this, you start to get this tribal feeling inside you, and you just want to go after anybody. And
so what do your songs say? How do you distinguish yourself?
I think that my songs are pretty much in line with a lot of country music. I talk about traditional values. I talk about the things that we all have in common. I talk about mercy. I talk about my mother. I talk about my wife, though I'm not married, but just trying to set things up for later.
But in other words, you're not trying to make a judgment for or against one country. You're trying to talk about all people and their common bond, right?
I try to, because I think the vast majority of people, they have a lot of things in common. Obviously.
Well, how do people react to you?
People react really well. There was a guy down in South Carolina. He works for a church there, and he sent an email to me, and he said, "You're a walking, talking, singing hope for the world." And another guy from Seattle, he was actually atheist, and he said, "If I believed in God, I'd pray for you." And he just said, "Good job, keep doing what you're doing." So I've had some real good reactions, positive reactions.
Do you fear that if there were another Islamic type of an attack on the United States, at the very least, you'd have to hide?
I'm less concerned about how that would affect me, and more concerned about the people that would actually be harmed in the incident.
But the fear that this would raise the racial profiling stakes.
I don't know exactly what would happen, but like I said, my concern would be I just don't want something like that to happen. Not because people are going to look at me. I mean, people die, and the people that die and their families are the ones that we should be concerned about, and those are the people that I'm concerned about.
And the people who perpetrate that.
Exactly.
Would you call them evil?
They're wretched human beings. Honestly, it's something that I can't speak to or can even understand. When I see a bug in my house, I take the bug out and try to let it out. So.
All right. Kareem, thank you very much. Kareem Salama, Muslim country singer. Some good stuff.
Thank you.
Well, is the Terminator about to pardon the party, or why Paris Hilton? Sure hoping so, but should it be so?